Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back again. This is episode 6 of the Goojpod.
Nice.
I just realized I goofed.
What'd you goof?
YouTube. The dude's comment.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta see if he responded yet. You're hearing it here live. Live on the Goojpod. So while I'm switching YouTube accounts, since I watch YouTube on a different account than I make content on, I figured I would... let's see. He has liked the comment, but not responded.
Gotcha.
He responded to our episode 1. He was talking about the Daniel Robinson disappearance. His response was, it wasn't mental illness and he didn't hit his head. Check the car data on the police report. To which I responded, hey, not the true crime buff here, and then, said who I was. I would love to find that data from the police report, but I am not seeing it on any of my searches. Any chance you have a link I could borrow? Thanks a ton. And yeah, he just didn't respond. So if anybody has any more information in regards to the Daniel Robinson disappearance, specifically talking about the car data, I would love to hear it. And we will talk about it on here, most likely.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because when I started to look up, after I read the comment, I was like, oh, maybe, I missed something in my research. So I started specifically searching for car data from the police report.
Yep. It comes up with a police report that doesn't explain anything. Yeah. And I did the same. I did the same preliminary research. I did not go too deep because I hoped WG was going to get back to us about it.
Yeah. But I don't know if you noticed this as well. There was a lot of, this is what the police report said, and then completely conflicting information.
It doesn't talk to talk about. Yeah. It's like it's conjecture.
Yeah.
People saying this is what the police report said because they wanted to report on something different. They were drawing not interest, but attention to themselves.
Literally,
basically, there was no proof that what's being said was correct.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Misinformation.
Yeah.
Misinformation is an absolute B word.
Correct.
I'm going to give it a few minutes before I start swearing for YouTube's sake. I'd like people to be able to find it, Okay. I have an update. Actually, we're not going to jump to the update yet.
Okay.
I'm just going to finish my little intro.
All right.
We didn't do shit this last week.
Yeah.
Actually, nothing.
Oh, I'm Haley.
It's just her this week.
It's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm not here. Just kidding. I'm Cannon. And the reason we didn't get to do anything this week is because I had 2 people call out from work.
A blast.
So, when you're the manager and you get 2 people calling out on 2 really undesirable shifts and you don't want to just make everybody else do that work, you just do it yourself. So I worked a little over 50 hours this week. Not fun. Don't recommend.
Yep.
Working a job you don't love, 50 plus hours a week. Really not worth it. Might be a decent check, but I would honestly rather not make that money than do that.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. We got to survive somehow. But on that note, I get this whole next week off. I'd planned this little vacation week a little bit ahead. I'm probably going to get called in, most likely. I'm fully expecting to be called in this week. I have my fingers crossed and all of my toes. But, you never know. My sister's birthday's coming up, so I for sure have an excuse to not go that day. Didn't tell him what day it was, so might just.
Sorry, it's my sister's birthday.
You know what we do? We're all family, and we're all a bunch of alcoholics, so we all get drunk on everybody's birthdays. So that's gonna be my excuse all 5 days of the week that I'm off.
Sorry, it's my sister's birth week. Can't
come. My sister was born this week 25 years ago, 23 years ago. 24 years ago. And so I'm going to get drunk about it.
All 24 hours of every day.
Yeah, she's turning 24. You got to do it 24 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah. 1 drink per hour, every hour for the next 24 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, that would probably kill me. So I had a little section here, the bowling alley drama. It's nothing new, just a new story for the podcast. Did you want me to do the story about PCP Will or Crackhead Joe?
Ooh.
I obviously changed both names. One's an origin story, and the other's an origin of the name story. They're both origin of the name stories, but one's an origin story as well.
Gosh, I gotta say PCP.
PCP Will.
Yeah.
So we have an older gentleman that works with me. His name is Will, and he overdosed one time on PCP. Of all the drugs to overdose on, he picked PCP.
Good Lord.
He's from Michigan, so I guess PCP might be a big thing up there, you know, the Great Lakes state of Michigan. I'm going to say it again. Said it before. I fucking hate Michigan.
Yeah.
I would probably overdose on PCP if I had to live there too.
Well, especially in the bit you were in.
That's where he's from.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
He's from that area.
Fair enough.
I was 30 minutes from his hometown.
Completely understand.
And I mean, he's older, so like he lived there when Michigan was a little bit more wealthy.
Yeah.
But they were on a decline.
Yeah.
But no, he overdosed on PCP back in the day. He was about 22, from what he told me. He hadn't had any kids yet. Woke up in the back of a meat wagon, like before they put you in body bags when you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he woke and was banging on the window, like scared the dude. He almost wrecked, apparently, because, you know, dead guys awake in the back of the meat wagon.
I would also wreck.
Yeah, possibly. I probably would too. Exactly.
And a corpse came up and was like, "Hey, buddy."
Corpse husband?
Yeah.
No, yeah, so that's how... So, and the reason we call him PCP Will is not because of this. So I'm going to tangent onto Crackhead Joe.
Okay.
I guess I should have prefaced it with, which one do you want me to start with?
All right, that's fair.
You get both. So Crackhead Joe is called Crackhead Joe because he went to jail for doing crack.
Fitting name.
He's one of the people from the halfway house. And again, I think it's wonderful that we give all these people second chances.
Oh, absolutely.
I just hate working with people who potentially are going to steal all of my things because it's been more often than not, they're either a murderer or they steal shit from the bowling alley.
One of which is considerably worse than the other.
Yeah, stealing from people. Because they did the murders before they went to, you know, they're reformed.
Fair enough. It's not like they're actively murdering people.
Right, they're not serial killers. They're
as far
just,
as you know.
They're not smart enough. Well, I don't know. Serial killers...
Pretty stupid.
Yeah, no, it's not usually because they're smart that they're serial killers. It's that the police are dumb. And just like, what do you mean his apartment smells like dead people? I'm not going to do anything about it. I don't care. He's probably just unhygienic.
Literally. At John Wayne Gacy Jr., who buried 34 people under his house and decided that to combat the smell of decomposition, he would just put a bunch of open deodorant sticks in his house.
See, that's just smart.
So his house just smelled like decomposing body and deodorant sticks.
He's just smart. He's smarter than the rest of us. It's like literally people who... I'm going to say specifically skaters because I know so many stinky skaters who don't wear deodorant stick and then just spray Axe on themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to drown you out with the smell of armpit and Axe. So it's made me just... I used to wear Axe.
And 9 times out of 10, weed as well.
Fair. I used to wear Axe when I was a very early teen, like 12, 13, 14. But I also wore deodorant.
Yeah.
So...
Well, back when Axe was, like, coming into the market for, like, middle schoolers, I was like, I'm tired of this, you know, girly soap. So I got the, like, Axe body soap one time. And
it burns you.
It burned me, and it, like, flaked all my skin off, and I was like... Going back to what I used to use.
It dries the absolute shit out of my skin.
Same, and I've got super dry skin, so it was just like
I only got some super dry elbows anymore. I need to start wearing lotion.
Fair enough.
But no, so Crackhead Joe, we called him Crackhead Joe, not to his face. I would never use anybody's past in a joking way, but so I guess it was probably inappropriate, especially me being in a management position, to have ever called him Crackhead Joe. I wasn't in a management position when we started that nickname, just to be clear. I'm still going to do it. Nobody's ever said anything to me about it.
Yeah.
But no, so I was actually talking to Will about it, and he apparently got told by the general manager to stop calling him Crackhead Joe.
Oh.
I've told you this already.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just not Joe. His name's not Joe.
I know it's not Joe. I'm trying to piece it together in my head.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Duh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's the only one we call crackhead.
I know.
So crackhead Joe. Now, I mean, I know there was a Joe there that was a crackhead. He doesn't work there anymore, so I can call him whatever I want. They were roommates, actually.
Yeah.
They were roommates? No, so what was I saying before I had to clarify who I was talking about to you?
I'm sorry. Management said that
Oh, yeah, I was talking to Will about it, and you know who I'm talking about when I say Will.
Yes,
okay.
I do.
So, was talking to him about it, and we can't call him crackhead anymore. So, Will came and told me this, and he's like, well, we can't call crackhead no more. And I was like, what do you mean? We never even called him that to his face. He was like, yeah, I know, I told him. I said, well, I overdosed on PCP. Y'all can call me PCP Will. I'm like, well, I mean, fair enough, I guess. Like, you did it too.
Yeah.
You don't care. Like, he talks about it. He's obviously learned and grown from his experience with drugs. And I just think that it's funny that we should, you know, cater to Joe about it.
I
don't know.
I have my own story about Joe.
Okay.
When I came to eat with you the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled up, and he's out there working on
Nothing.
something.
He was sitting there playing on his phone when I walked out.
Yeah, okay, so I pulled up, and he was sitting there playing on his phone, vaping.
You just described his entire job.
Yeah, no, but, like, he saw my car pull up, and I guess he didn't know what to do, because he stood up, walked, like, out into the pavement area, and then started stretching while I'm sitting there waiting on you. Like, he's, like, reaching down, touching his toes, and, like, popping his back.
Well, he's got a bad back.
I know, but, like...
He doesn't. That's his excuse for being lazy.
He looked up at me and just, like, pure panic in his face.
Yeah.
And then he was, like, wandering around doing something.
He didn't recognize your vehicle,
yeah.
obviously.
And then eventually he went and sat back down and started vaping and playing on his phone.
Because he saw you and remembered who you were. Yeah. He probably thought you were the owner's wife or relative, because your car is relatively nice that way, especially to somebody like him.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, it's not. It's a 2012 Volvo XC60 for those listening.
Don't dox me.
I didn't say the color. You want me to give them your license plate number real quick?
No, I don't even know my license plate number.
I have mine memorized. For my first car, actually. I don't remember any of my other ones.
I had my second car memorized.
Oh, I do remember I do actually know your license plate. I actually have it memorized, because I park behind you every day. I remember the last bit is...
Yeah, I do.
Hi, it's me from the future. So I went ahead and just chopped out this whole section, because we sit here and talk about her license plate number. Figured that didn't need to go on the internet. But that was that section. I have a little update for the Debbie Collier case from last week from my smoking cannon.
Very excited.
I already told you half of it because I was so excited. But the amount that was sent via Venmo is suspiciously close to an amount that Andrew, Amanda's boyfriend, owed in court costs for probation of some sort.
Crazy.
Like, it's super close. Like, I don't know the amount that he owed, and I don't know that this news source is trustworthy. Mm-hmm. You know, New York Post.
Yeah.
I think that's where I got it again. I'm not going to swear to that, but I think that's who it was from. And then the FBI has also joined the investigation.
Oh, good.
Good or bad?
Good.
I think it's also equally bad, potentially. Everything that you've ever shown me where the FBI joined in, they made things worse.
Well, it's not like local police are really doing a whole lot. FBI has more resources they can use.
The local police seem to be doing a great job.
I mean, yeah, but like in 9 times out of 10, local police really don't do anything.
So it's not like the FBI just stepped in, right?
Yeah.
Apparently the lead investigator was asked by the FBI if they would like help, and he said absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a feeling more likely than not we will have an answer to this case eventually, and I will absolutely be covering it if you would like to hear it. I've checked every single day, all week, seeing what updates there were, and these are the 2 updates so far. I just checked again and made sure there was nothing else that has come out that I might have missed.
Cool. I'm excited.
Well, it may never happen, so don't be.
You can still have hope.
You can have hope without excitement.
You can also have hope and excitement.
Sounds like a waste of time to me. But I guess that leads us into either your part or trivia.
Ooh.
I don't like doing your part after the break.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like doing yours before the break.
Okay.
So you said it wasn't going to be super long anyways.
I don't believe it's super long.
Worst case, if it ends up being too long and we need to take a break in the middle of it, that's acceptable.
Okay. I don't.
It's not like we can't just be like, we're gone for a second and then be right back.
Yeah.
It's the same listening experience. They just get to hear us say bye an extra time.
Alrighty, let me grab my notes. Okay, so I have some background that I have to start off with.
Okay. Just let me know at what point I need to start Googling.
Okay.
I'm also going to go ahead and say this is my first time ever having this beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's Singha from Bangkok, Thailand. And I'm taking a drink now, so I'll give it my review. It smells like an American beer. It's solid. I would drink that. It's a little on the more expensive side. I think it was like $10 for a 6-pack.
Cool.
I don't know. It's good. I'd give it like a. It's got a very not very. It's got a mildly bitter aftertaste. I like that better than the sweet ones.
Okay, cool.
It does I was gonna say it tastes like an American beer if they knew how to make beer, which is saying it tastes foreign. I guess it's good.
I was gonna ask if it had like a almost vinegary sort of taste, because I know that a lot of Asian beers that we've had have a sort of.
It doesn't taste like an Asian beer. It actually tastes like it came out of like Europe somewhere, like almost Scandinavian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it tastes like other Scandinavian beers that I've had. It's solid.
Sounds good.
It's got a very open beer profile. I'm not a beer
connoisseur.
I am a beer connoisseur. I'm not a beer reviewer, but it's good. It's I don't know how to describe beer. It's good. I would drink it. I'm gonna drink more of it. So, okay. So So I know you said you had some background.
Yes.
Is this? Can you give us a name? Give us the background. Just give it to me unadulterated, the way you want to give it to me.
All right. So, in Woodward, Oklahoma, April 9th, 1947.
Okay, you picked an old one.
I did indeed. I do like the old ones. An F5...
Guess you're going to like the trivia.
Nice. I
Maybe.
hope so.
Probably not.
An F5 tornado hit the town.
Okay, so I think the murderer might have been the tornado.
At approximately 8:42 p.m.
Okay.
And it was basically like...
The 8:42 p.m. tornado murders
over
of Oklahoma.
Good Lord. It is the deadliest tornado to ever strike Oklahoma up to this day.
Don't they have like mad tornadoes in Oklahoma?
They do indeed.
I wonder why Zach Bryan has never sung about a tornado.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's an Okie boy.
He is indeed. Over 100 city blocks were completely destroyed, like razed to the ground.
Raised.
Over 1,000 homes and businesses were destroyed either via tornado or subsequent fires. At least 107 people died in Woodward alone. I think when I looked it up, it was something around 180 people died in Oklahoma in total. So the majority of it was in Woodward. And over 1,000 people were injured during said tornado. So, this is...
I hate to interject, and this is just a random thought I'm having. Tornado categories.
Yeah.
You know, F5.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like people should be paying respect. You forget it's still a comedy podcast. I'm sorry I had to.
You're fine.
It fits so good. Come on, please.
No, it is good. Just not what I was expecting.
I hope I caught the rest of everyone listening off guard as well. Oh, if you don't get it, it's an internet meme.
Oh my god.
I realize I'm going to ask Mom to listen to this.
Fair enough.
She's not going to know what that means.
Fair enough.
Just if you don't know and you know me, just ask for clarification, I guess. Go ahead, please.
So, one of the families that was affected by the tornado was the Croft family. Now, there are some names, and I'm not going to be using all of them for the rest of this, but I just wanted to kind of give you the rundown.
Sure.
So, the father, his name was Olin Croft.
Olin?
Olin. Not like pear Olin, but like Olin.
I was thinking like Olin's shocks for ATVs and dirt bikes.
Oh, okay.
Just off-road stuff in general. Yeah.
The mother was Cleta.
Does Olin know where the clitoris is?
Yes, unfortunately.
Huh? Do you get the joke?
Of course I get the joke.
Then what do you mean?
I'll explain.
I don't like the implication. I shouldn't have said anything.
And then the two children, Jerry.
That's a normal ass name.
Geri.
Oh, that's my grandma's name.
Yeah, that was one of the daughters.
Wow. Okay.
Which was Cleta's daughter from a previous marriage.
Slut. I'm kidding. I am 100% kidding.
I also find this a little interesting. I know it's the mid to late 1940s, but at the time, Cleta was 26 and Jerry was 7. So she was very young.
Ooh, she was 19.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty normal.
It's pretty normal.
I think that's pretty normal. Yeah.
And then there's Joan Gay, who was...
This is a child?
Yeah. Who was 4.
Is that 2 first names?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, is that a previous child from a different marriage as well?
It's Joan Gay Croft. She was always referenced in newspaper articles. Everything is just Joan Gay when talking about her first name, so I assume that's...
Okay, sure. I'll take it.
So they were a fairly wealthy family.
I honestly guessed it based on their names, just for some reason.
Yeah.
You don't get 2 first names unless you're from a wealthy family.
Yeah. So, when the tornado hit, Cleta was killed instantly. The house pretty much fell on her, and a big structural component of it crushed her to death.
Sure.
Olin was in critical condition due to, the house falling on him.
As you would expect.
Yes. Jerry was largely unharmed and came out of there with a couple bruises, which is pretty cool.
Lucky.
Yeah. And Joan Gay was pierced through the thigh, like from in one and out the other end, with a small piece of wood. There are reports saying that it was the size of a pencil, like thickness, and then some say it's like almost as thick as a broom handle.
Remind me. I'm gonna write a note here. Speaking of piercing things through things, I'm making myself a note, so I'm not gonna talk for a second. My Hurricane Katrina story.
Okay.
It's interesting, and I think it's fitting. I think it'll probably add an extra 5 or 10 minutes.
Cool.
So. We'll come back to that after the break, of course, but I want to hear the rest. So she was pierced with a piece of wood about the size of a pencil, potentially.
Yeah, I think a pencil is a lot more likely considering she's 4 years old.
What was the other thing you said, a pencil or what?
As small as a pencil or as big as a broom handle, I think it's depending on reporting.
If they're 4, a broom handle's like the size of their arm?
Yeah, I think the thickness of a pencil is a whole lot more likely.
I would lean towards agreeing with you.
Yeah.
For sure, yes.
So, the father and the children were taken to the nearby hospital. Father, obviously, critical condition. They were doing everything they could. Whereas the 2 children were taken to the basement to receive treatment because it was transformed into like a... What is it called? Like a rescue shelter?
Yeah.
So, it was falsely reported in the paper that Olin had died in the
storm. Sure.
It was reported that Cleta had died, so it was, left 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
So, an aunt named Ruth showed up to the hospital the next day, prepared to, take these children in because they were orphaned.
Right.
So she shows up, And she sees Jerry. That's a tongue twister.
At least Jerry doesn't see herself selling seashells by the seashore.
Yep, much better at tongue twisters than I am. So
that wasn't, I butchered it, but
still, anyways.
oh god, I almost made a really bad joke.
Oh no.
I almost butchered it like I assume someone's going to the children.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm just assuming. I have never heard this, so please continue.
Well, anyways, so Ruth shows up and she's like, "Hey, Jerry."
Aunt Ruth.
Aunt Ruth. I know, I told you there's a lot of names. Aunt Ruth shows up and she sees Jerry. And she's like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And Jerry's like, "Oh, I'm good." And Ruth is like, "Well, where's your sister?" And Jerry's like, "Well, she was taken by 2 men last night."
Huh?
And the aunt's like, "Huh?"
Yeah. Okay, fair.
So, the sister had stated that 2 men in khaki uniforms just kind of scooped her up out of the cot in the middle of the night. Joan Gay was pleading, saying she didn't want to leave her sister. She's 4, her sister's 7. She's like, "I don't want to leave my sister."
I wouldn't either in that situation,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
she doesn't know these people. She believes both of her parents are dead because she has seen them. And when the sister, Jerry, told the nurses, like, "Hey, these men took my sister," the nurses were like, "Oh, they'll be back for you too. They're transporting you to the Oklahoma City hospital." So Jerry was like, "Okay," and then went back to her cot and waited. But the men never came back. The nurses were so overwhelmed with, obviously, the thousands of injured
Yeah.
that they never bothered checking credentials, calling anything. So these men just show up in these uniforms. We're like, "Hey, we're here to transport people." And they're like, "Okay, go." The men had also supposedly asked for Joan Gay by name.
Oh, that's not suspicious. She was probably mentioned in the paper.
Yeah.
Which, would the paper have been out already?
I don't know.
Yeah. This is the following day?
Yeah.
Are we 100% certain it's the following day?
So I've pulled articles from like...
I guess it's hard to know for sure.
Yeah, I've read, I had to pull up like newspaper
because,
scannings.
like, obviously now it's like, there's this child being housed in this facility. Her parents are dead.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you could potentially have predators that, like, that's like a very easy situation to take advantage of, I feel like.
Yeah, and I also wonder if maybe it's reported that the newspaper said something, but it was word of mouth.
Maybe.
Because it was a fairly small town.
So maybe it was reported that he was dead and word spread.
Yes.
Or both parents were dead, I should
Funny
clarify.
tangent, it was actually another person by the name of Olin, but with a different last name, who was actually the dead one, not the father.
Oh, weird.
So, that's what kind of leads me towards word of mouth.
I actually almost gave you a trivia question.
Oh.
Which dealt with 2 people who were murdered the same day or just shortly following with the same name.
Crazy.
And I decided not to because I was like, this feels really obscure and I don't think she's going to know it. So. Not that I'm only going to give questions that I think that you know.
I know.
For clarification's sake. Because I doubt that you'll know any of these.
Well.
I'm hoping you get lucky, but go ahead.
So, Ruth, obviously panicking, calls the Oklahoma City hospital. And, at this point, like, nurses are like, "Yeah, they came. They took her. It's fine." It's obviously not like they can, like, text her and be like, "Hey,
yeah, it's the
there.
40s.
It's the 40s. So Ruth called the Oklahoma City hospital and asked to speak to Joan to make sure she was okay. But Joan Gay was not there, nor was she ever expected to be there.
Okay, much like I expected.
Yeah. So, Ruth ended up calling pretty much every hospital around that she could think of, morgues, like everything, orphanages, just to see if she was there, and nothing. So, interesting sort of bit. After the tornado, there were 3 unidentified bodies which were found, who were all young girls.
Okay.
The closest to Joan Gay's age was a 3 to 5-year-old found. 3 to 5-year-old girl who was found.
Sure.
And the body was shown to Ruth, and Ruth is like, yeah, this isn't her.
Yep.
So they ended up taking a picture of all 3 girls and went around to the remaining town people and were like, hey, can you identify? And the remaining family and friends of Joan Gay were like, yeah, that's not her.
Yeah.
It's not her. Plus, I find it personally a little unreasonable that, you know, she would have been seen by her sister, the nurses, all this sorts of stuff, just to end up as an unidentified body the next day.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It seems suspicious.
Yeah. So, then there's absolutely no news. The only real thing is Olin survived. He ended up moving to Texas, remarried, had 2 kids, but he always, you know, would write into newspapers asking if anyone had any information. He would...
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
As you do.
Yeah. And that's about it. Until 1999.
Wow, okay.
And this might be a red herring, which is the sad part.
Okay.
A columnist for the newspaper, The Oklahoman, received an email asking if he was interested in finding out what happened to the missing 4-year-old Joan Gay.
Right.
The email was signed Mrs. Joan Gay Croft. So he immediately was like, yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Of course. Yeah.
I want to know. So he writes her back and is like, yes, you know, I have so many questions to ask. Is there like a time and place where we can, you know, have a call, or can I continue responding via email? And her response was something to the effect of, I know that people have been coming out of the woodworks claiming to be missing people. I am doing this now because, as an adult, I realize that my mother, Cleta Croft, her body was laying on me as a child when I was found, and I have been repressing these memories. I did not remember who I was.
What?
If you would like, we can meet up and talk.
Well, this doesn't sound right at all.
So obviously, the columnist is like, absolutely, let's meet. And of course, at this time, there was no way for them to trace where the email was coming from, all sorts of that jazz. But there was no further responses.
Ah.
And eventually, the email address was no longer being able to be sent anything.
That's a shame.
And that's it.
Well,
over the years, there have been a lot of, like, found Jane Does who have been attempted to be attributed to her, but nothing is confirmed.
yeah. I feel like at this point you'd have to do DNA and have, like, other living relatives to do cross-referencing of DNA, which maybe you could use her half-siblings from her father's second marriage.
Yeah.
But
I cannot remember. I do believe that Olin died in the either late 80s or late 90s. And Jerry died in 2005.
oh, wow, okay.
I saw one report that they had taken some DNA from a cousin, just on the off chance that they would be able to match it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be interesting to find out for sure, but it definitely sounds like this one's dead in the water.
Yeah. For reference, she would be 79 years old now.
Yeah, I kind of figured it would be somewhere around that range.
All right, excuse the paper turning noise. So there's pretty much 4 general theories. The first one, which I hadn't thought of, is a baby broker. Apparently, during the 40s, there was a notorious woman who would come in after tragedies and steal babies and resell them to wealthy couples for adoption.
Okay.
According to the very little research I did on this woman, because I didn't want to have like a whole nother page about the baby brokers, whatever.
Just go for it.
She operated primarily in the like Tennessee, Alabama, Louisiana range.
Yeah, that's not quite Okie.
It's not quite, but it isn't a stretch to think that it's another person who was doing something
or maybe
similar.
Attempting to do the same thing. Yeah.
Another one was that she was taken for ransom. As stated, the family was wealthy.
Yeah, they weren't poor. Yeah.
Which is kind of where the newspaper reporting he was dead kind of contradicts.
What did the dad do for work? Do you know?
I believe he was a cattle farmer.
Okay.
Like a very, very big.
Have to be. I mean, there's a lot of big farms in Oklahoma, so that's believable. Sure.
The third theory is that she was abducted by pedophiles.
That was actually what my mind went to, but I feel like that's maybe a modern problem.
Well,
old problems require modern solutions, and they Epsteined her.
Sure thing.
That's a vile way of wording it, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
no, but apparently there was a couple pedophiles that were caught about 10 years afterwards who had stated that they were on the hunt for children who resembled her.
How do you just state that?
They were caught and arrested, and they're like, I guess I'm gonna confess.
Okay.
Anyways, she was, by all shape and form, probably an ideal candidate, which I hate saying, but she was 4. She hardly ever spoke because she was super shy. It's stated that she had a form of speech impediment, like a lisp, which made her even more nervous to talk.
Yeah.
She was small for her age, had like, cute little blonde curls.
I got her pulled up over here. Yeah.
Which also leads into the baby broker theory, because she was quiet. They had potentially seen her before. Anyways, and then the last theory, which is what most people believe, but I don't, is that she actually was the unidentified body that was found.
But she was just imagined at the hospital?
Yeah, that's like, I'm not understanding that part, because not only was the family asked, like her school teachers were asked, the neighbors were asked, and they're like, that's not her.
I don't know. It's impossible to tell from something that old for sure, but
yeah.
It's very, I mean, possibly though. Like, obviously being battered in a tornado would make it much worse, but...
Yeah, but like, her real only injury that was documented was having that piece of wood through her thigh. So it's not like her face was torn up or anything like that.
Yeah, but maybe that wasn't her. Maybe they brought the wrong girl there and everybody was traumatized and was like,
Could be.
Yeah, maybe it was wrongly identified by her sister as it being her.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe her sister hit her head. And
Yeah, you never know.
She was... exactly, I don't know.
The only thing that gives me even like a little bit of hope with this is that there is DNA on file.
Yeah.
And with the recent wave of, obviously, the DNA being matched to Jane and John Doe's, serial killers, all sorts of stuff. In fact, as a little like, hey, if you want to read another story, at the bottom of one of these articles, it stated that there was a woman who was found who went missing in 1880, and she was just recently identified. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Didn't read much more about it, but...
That's a shame.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in closing of this part, I have to agree with any of those stories, any of the theories. I don't have my own in this one because it's so old, and there's like... I think maybe the only thing that I have to say is that maybe the little girl that was brought with... I can't remember her sister's name.
Jerry.
Of course, it's my grandma's name that I forget. The little girl that was brought with Jerry maybe wasn't her sister. And
yeah.
That was just a different person that maybe was blown over there with.
Yeah, it could be.
You never know. It would be very hard and nearly impossible to decide that for sure without actually having been there.
Yeah, and that's kind of the
general
sad part about
consensus
old
of
cases.
Yeah, for sure.
It's because you don't know. It's not like you can go back and reconstruct it because it happened 75 years ago.
Yeah. That being said, I have a question about an old case that you may or may not have heard about.
Okay.
And I'm not asking it before the break. I'm asking it after the break, right before trivia.
Sounds
because I was
good.
going to make a question about it. And I was like, this seems very, very obscure. I hope you know anything about it because it would be very interesting.
Okay.
But we're going to go ahead and take a break and be right back shortly because I feel like talking. So see you in a few.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we're back
Howdy.
with what is possibly the shortest Goojpod break ever.
It was astoundingly short.
We both used the bathroom, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
And we're back. So the case that I had a question about is the Lake Bodom or Bodom, B-O-D-O-M, murders. Do you know anything about the Lake Bodom or
Okay.
Bodom murders? I should probably have looked up how to pronounce that. It's Finnish.
Yeah, I know the name.
You can say no.
I think I'm confusing it with another
Let me go ahead and just...
Scandinavian one.
On Saturday, June 4th, 1960, 4 Finnish teenagers, and I'm reading this directly from the Wikipedia for anybody who has concern about me sounding like I'm reading directly from the Wikipedia. 4 Finnish teenagers had decided to camp along the shore of Lake Bodom, and I'm going to click on the page for that just so I can pronounce it correctly. Where's the pronunciation? I thought this was supposed to have the pronunciation. Finnish. How do I... Listen.
Suomi.
Well, that's not what I wanted to listen to. Suomi? Oh, that's the language. Dang it.
I think you're pronouncing it correctly. Don't hold me on that.
Well, we're just going to call it Bodom or Bottom. So I'm just going to say Bodom because I think that's correct. Along the shore of Lake Bodom, near the city of Espoos, Oita Manor. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. 2 Finnish boys, both aged 15 at the time. Accompanying them were their boyfriends, and I don't assume that it means partners. I assume it means friends that were boys.
Yeah.
Seppo Antero Boisman and Niels Wilhelm Gustafsson. Both were aged 18. Sometime between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. during the early morning hours of Sunday, June 5th, 1960, so the next day, not the prior day, 3 of the boys were stabbed and bludgeoned to death by an unknown assailant. Gustafsson was the only survivor of the massacre. He had fractured facial bones that appeared to confirm his story of being a victim. He stated afterwards that he had seen a glimpse of an attacker clothed in black with bright red eyes coming for them.
Yeah.
At about 6 a.m., a group of boys bird watching some distance away had reportedly seen the tent collapse and a blond man walking away from the site. The bodies of the victims were discovered around 11 a.m. by a carpenter named Esko Oiva... It's Johansson is how it's printed in English. He alerted the police, who arrived on scene at noon. What a response in the 60s.
That's
an
pretty
hour.
quick.
Yeah. The initial investigation, the killer had not injured the victims from inside the tent. Wow, that was mildly racist. My tongue sticking to the back of my teeth and saying Z. Thankfully, that's a German thing, right?
Yeah.
Not Finnish. The killer had not injured the victims from inside the tent, but instead had attacked the occupants from outside with a knife and an unidentified blunt instrument, possibly a rock, through the sides of the tent. The murder weapons have never been located. The killer had taken several items which detectives found puzzling, including the keys to the victims' motorcycles, which themselves had been left behind. Gustafsson's shoes were partially hidden approximately 500 meters from the murder site. The police did not cordon off the site nor record the details of the scene. The suspects. There have been numerous suspects over the course of the investigation of the Lake Bodom murders, but the following are the most notable. Vladimir Gilstrom. Many local people suspected Karl Vladimir Gilstrom as he is a kiosk keeper from Oita. Or Hans Assmann. His name is 100% Assman. Hans Assmann. Most public suspicion found on Hans Assmann, who lived several kilometers from the shore of Lake Bodom. And then it says there's something about books. So the reason that I wanted to mention is because I saw that Niles, or Niels, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Pronounce?
N-I-L-S.
N-I-L-S.
Nils.
Gustafsson. Mm-hmm. In late March 2004, almost 44 years after the event, Gustafsson, not a suspect in the case as far as the public knew, was arrested in early 2005.
For what?
The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation declared the case was solved based on forensic analysis according to the prosecutor's interpretations of bloodstains. Gustafsson had been drunk and excluded from their tent when he attacked the other boy, getting his jaw broken in a fight which escalated into him committing 3 murders.
That makes sense.
The trial started on August 4th, 2005. Gustafsson's defense lawyer argued that the murders were the work of one or more outsiders and that Gustafsson would have been incapable of killing 3 people given the extent of his injuries. It had always been known that the shoes worn by the killer and hidden by him 500 yards away from the tent belonged to Gustafsson, who was found barefoot on top of the tent. Modern DNA analysis was significant for the prosecution as it showed that the 3 murdered victims' blood was on Gustafsson's shoes, but Gustafsson's was completely absent. The prosecution said that it followed from the lack of Gustafsson's blood on the shoes, that his injuries had occurred at a different time to the attack of the murdered victims, and that the only explanation of this was that Gustafsson had committed the murders, then faked the theft of items by hiding them, further injured himself, and then went back to the tent, where, now barefoot, he pretended to be unconscious. The prosecution attempted to bolster their case by alleging an identification by 2 bird watchers of Gustafsson as the tall blonde man at the scene of the crime, an assertion that he had been overheard making an incriminating remark, and that also a decade after the event, he had boasted to a woman about his guilt. On October 7th, 2005, Gustafsson was acquitted of all charges. The court explained the verdict was due to the prosecution evidence being inconclusive. So, basically, I just word vomited you all the Wikipedia page for 6 minutes.
Yep.
I apologize for that. I just wanted to know if you'd heard anything about it and figured I could tell you about it.
So I know the name. In my head, I was sitting there thinking, and I was like, what am I confusing it with? And I was confusing it with the Hinterkaifeck murders.
Okay.
Which is vaguely similar, but in like a farmhouse.
Okay.
But yeah, like if you, even just reading through the Wikipedia article, you're like, it sounds like a teenager did this.
It was 100% him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's no question in my mind that, like, yes, it was him, but they couldn't prosecute because it was 44 years prior and there was no evidence because the police didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it was him, and I may cut that portion just because it's uninteresting to listen to.
Okay.
But just for the sake of the listeners, the Lake Bodom Murders, look it up. It's kind of interesting. I just word vomited the Wikipedia page. You may have listened to it. I may leave it in. I'm not sure yet. But this brings us into the trivia section.
Very excited.
The trivia section here on the Goojpod was originally never part of the podcast. I just decided to do it as a content filler. I enjoyed making it. I feel like you enjoy answering the questions incorrectly 90% of the time.
Oh, we've done 2 trivia things. And I've only gotten 50% of them wrong.
Triggered. So yeah, you did good one week and bad the next. But this is trivia here with Goojpod. So what you can do, if you're listening at home or on TikTok or anywhere else that you might be listening to this podcast, you can play along. See if you can do better than Haley. She is a true crime aficionado.
I was about to say I wouldn't say that, then I'm like, oh, never mind. I probably would.
I mean, that's what you told me.
Yeah.
Before we started dating.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're just going to jump right into it.
I'm ready.
This one is, I think, going to be difficult, but also easy. This is an easy question. I would give this, on a scale from 1 to 10, a difficulty of like a 6.
Okay.
Question number 1. And these are going to be multiple choice unless otherwise stated. There is one that is not multiple choice in this quiz. What decade had the most serial killers? The 60s, 70s, 80s, or the 90s?
I'm going 70s. It's either 60s or 70s.
Okay, you googing that answer in.
I'm googing the 70s in.
Okay. Well, according to my Google searches, you're incorrect.
Is it the 60s?
It's the 80s.
Oh.
According to my... If I'm wrong, I want people to correct me and give me sources. Because this information, I wanted this question to be in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% that I'm right. We're not giving you the point for it because it's my quiz and you're wrong according to my quiz.
Okay.
So question number 2. During August of 1995, Heather Teague was sunbathing on a remote beach in Spotsville, Kentucky. She was abducted, leaving nothing behind except for small pieces of her red bathing suit. There was only one witness to this crime. Who or what was this person? A U.S. forest ranger. B, a boater. C, a peeping Tom. Or D, a lifeguard.
The answer is C, a peeping Tom. He had a telescope. He lived across the river from where she was found.
Specifically across the Ohio River.
Specifically across the Ohio River, and would go out on his patio and use his telescope to peep on bathing women.
Indeed he did. And he also ended up calling police about 45 minutes after because he was afraid of implications. However, I have to say that it's suspicious that he waited just the amount of time it would take for him to get back home from across the river.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about the case other than initial readings, but he ended up working with police, to help make a sketch, and also made a full statement. That being said, that sounds like the absolute perfect alibi for a peeping Tom who turned into a rapist/murderer. He may be completely innocent, but I don't know. It's difficult.
I've listened to the 911 call, actually, which is crazy that you picked that one, but...
It was completely random based on a Google search trying to find questions.
Yep.
Question number 3. So that gives you a point.
Nice.
For this one. But question number 3. During January of 1947, 22-year-old Elizabeth Short of Los Angeles was found murdered. What is the name of this famous cold case?
That is the Black Dahlia murder.
I also meant to say, if you needed more, you get half a point if I have to make it more. But you got the full point. So that's 2 points now. The additional information that could have been given was that she was found cut in half, drained of all blood, and slashed multiple times.
With a Chelsea grin.
Question number 4. Which of these murders remained a cold case for the longest amount of time? And has since been solved, of course.
Okay.
A, the BTK killer case. B, the murder of Susan... I don't think I spelled that name right. It's either Galvin or Golvin. I definitely need to look that up real quick. Give me just a moment. It is Galvin. Susan Galvin. I'm going to read the answers again. A, the BTK killer case. B, the murder of Susan Galvin. C, the Golden State killer case. Or D, the murder of Irene Garza.
I mean, obvious answer is Golden State Killer. Because it was 40-something years later.
Okay.
But then you also threw in 2 names I don't know. So they could also be from before then.
Right. Hence the point of the quiz.
Yeah, I know.
Is it the Golden State Killer? Is it one of the random women? Is it the BTK killer case? Do you know?
What was the last name again?
Irene Garza.
I'm going against my better judgment and saying Irene Garza.
You get a point.
Oh, yes.
It is Irene Garza. The in order of length with the time, it's the BTK killer case with 31 years cold, followed up shortly by the Golden State killer case with 47 years. Next would be Susan Galvin with 51 years, and the longest cold case in the history of the world, Irene Garza, at 57 years. I might be wrong, but this is what the website told me. I should start writing my sources.
Yeah.
So that way I'm not the one to blame. Because I'm not double checking these sources.
Fair enough.
So if these are wrong, let me know and give me sources, and I'll give you credit for correcting me. I promise I will. As long as I respond to you and, like, know that. Yeah. Basically, as long as I can confirm that I've talked to you. Question number 5. The Zodiac killer of much fame committed his confirmed killings in which U.S. state? A, Utah, B, California, C, Nevada, or D, New Mexico?
California. He committed most of his crimes on UC Berkeley's campus.
You are in the right.
I know.
I gave you easy ones this week. So you have what, 3?
4.
4 or 5? That is correct, isn't it? You got 1, 2, 3 on this page. Yeah. So the only one that you missed was the decade that had the most serial killers.
Yeah.
So
I figured it was the 70s because there was a...
It was the 60s to the 90s that had the most.
Yeah.
So you guessing any of the decades that I put on there was definitely adequate. It was a good answer. Any of those are a good answer. But what I was going to say real quick was, if you followed along, let me know if you beat her or not. If you got that question actually, then you might be smarter than her.
I dare someone else to have gotten the Heather Teague question right.
It shows up a lot when you Google things. I've seen her name like 4 times trying to make these questions and just decided to pick it because I was like, that would be cool. Peeping Tom.
So what's actually funny, how I found out about that case in particular, is one of the speakers at CrimeCon had a short episode in a podcast where he was talking about like one of the cases that he was really interested in, and ended up posting a link. It's like a 49-minute video, or technically it's a video, but it's just the audio from like 911 and then all the like reporting stuff. And I was interested after the day was done, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll listen to this. So that's how I know about that one.
I found out about it by Googling. Okay, so I think that ends the trivia portion. You did good so far. You are, what, 9 for 15?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Better than I did in school.
That's not true.
In middle school.
Okay, shut up. We ain't talking about no middle school. So 9 for 15 isn't bad. If anybody's been playing along, let us know where you're at in total. That would be cool. If you all actually like listening to these, I wanted to say something really weird. I'm not going to.
I can't believe I bombed it last week.
Oh, you did? Bad.
Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed.
I don't feel like the questions were hard. I feel like a lot of the questions last week were as easy as the ones I did this week. It just so happens they ended up in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, had I asked a question about the Lake Bodom Murders, you'd have been fucked.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, that ends it for the trivia. So I think that means we're going to hop right over to Spotify.
Heck yeah.
You don't need to, necessarily, yet. Okay. I'm going to ask questions first.
Okay.
Because this is a special episode for my music portion.
Ooh.
So, earlier this week, as you well know, Spotify decided to send out a playlist of your top 100 most listened to songs for 2021. What year is it?
2022.
Why did they do this?
I don't know.
Well, guess what? It's getting featured on the pod.
Heck yeah.
I figured it made it easy for me this week. I actually have songs added to the playlist to listen to. We're not going to do it this week. We're just going to wait. They might go on the special episode. That's right. There might be a special episode if we're not going to be lazy fucks. But anyways, so I know you already know who my top artist is because I already showed you. Do you remember my top artist of 2021? So the answer is no. So we're going to name one of my top 10.
You sang the song to me.
All the time.
I know.
I sing all these songs all the time.
I'm gonna spit out Crywank.
Nope. That's the wrong year.
You listened to a lot of Crywank last year.
2021?
Yeah.
No. Not that much. Not enough to be in my top 10. Dude, I listen to music all the time.
I know, that's fair.
Ain't no way it's in my top 10. I'm giving you three guesses to get one of my top 10.
Okay, we'll go.
Then I'm gonna pick 5 songs out of my top 100 to play. So I have not scrolled through this whole thing, so this is a new experience for everyone involved. But
oh boy, what's his name? We'll go 93.
93 he is in the top 10. He's actually number 4.
All right, and then the other that I was going to guess that I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Is Breakins on Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
Is he one of them?
Not the top 10. I'm sure he's in this, though. All right, so we're going to go ahead. If you wanted to, I guess you should probably have had the other headphones on.
Yep, switching headphones.
I don't know that you can access this playlist. I would imagine you should be able to.
It is not public.
Okay, so I'm just going to tell you the song name like we did the first episode.
Sounds good.
So the song that's on here is 93 Feet of Smoke, Bloody Mary. I don't know why my voice stopped. It's Bloody Mary.
I love this song.
Sheesh. Oh, it's amazing, right? Just let me know when you're ready.
Ugh, there we go.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, and go. 93 Feet of Smoke is one of my most favorite musicians. All right, we can go ahead and pause it.
Such a good song.
Yeah, it's goated. It's goated. 93 is goated. If you have not listened to 93 Feet of Smoke,
You're missing
you
out.
are sleeping. All of his music is good, in all honesty. Like, he puts out some stuff that's, like, not iffy. Iffy's not the word that I want to use, but it's like, he puts out certified bangers and great music, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just the two. So he put out Sheesh at the peak of the Sheesh phenomenon. You know?
So good.
The Sheesh phenomenon of 2021. And he carried his way up to my number 4 slot for top 100 songs.
That's crazy.
So, now that you've mentioned a couple of those, you want to go top 20. Let's bring your mind back a little bit. You mentioned break-ins. Would you like me to just pick a break-in song?
I do like break-ins.
Okay. We have Sunder, as well as Rozier / Punk 2.
Ooh.
I think I would rather listen to Sunder.
Agreed.
Because it is one of his less popular songs. Mm-hmm. Rozier / Punk 2 was from his first breakout album. It's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be one of those, well, once he got popular, I stopped liking his music. Break-ins is still great. It just so happens that the live version of Rozier that you should listen to, it's Rozier Unplugged. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yeah.
On YouTube is the version you should listen to. It is way better. But this version of Sunder is absolutely fucking phenomenal. And so we're going to jump into that for song 2. Are you ready?
Ready whenever you are.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to Sunder by Break-Ins, starting now. I definitely picked correct. My life if you told me to, but I'd do it by myself. All right, we can go ahead and pause. It is just more of this at the end. Absolute banger, certified.
So good.
Certified banger. All right. Was there any other artists that you think might be in my top 30?
Yes. This is the name that I forgot earlier. Lund.
Lund is here multiple times.
Figured.
I think he's in my top 10. He is in my top 10. All right, so we have. I'm gonna read you the songs by Lund that are in this, and you get to pick this one
Heck yeah.
without any input from me. We have Low, Fuck Love, and Broken.
We gotta go Broken.
You want to go Broken?
Yes,
All right.
please.
That is actually my 24th most listened to song.
Nice.
We're gonna go ahead and listen to it.
Oh,
If
I
you
gotta
want
pull it up.
You want to pull it up so we can listen to it?
Yeah, I'm good.
You ready?
Yep.
All right, 3. Oh, I'm gonna clarify. SoundCloud rapper turned. Not. He's a Spotify dude now. I guess. I don't know.
Turned
He's amazing.
not.
Listen to him for years. Listen to him on SoundCloud. Listen to him on Spotify and Apple Music. I think Apple Music. At least Spotify. Listen to him. He's goated. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. And of course, Broken is the song. So in 2021, it's not. It's my 24th. Both of the other songs were higher because they're newer. Fuck Love is newer, and then the other one is not newer, but I vibe with it more now. So we actually listened. This might have been like the second or third song we ever listened to together.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
Because I was like, "Do you know Lund?" And you're like, "No."
No.
And I'm like, "But you know Convolk?
Yeah.
They make music together."
I exclusively listened to Convolk and Youngween when we met. That's it.
Yeah, but like this is the same vein of people.
I know. I'm really bad at discovering music.
I try not to be. That's why we're all here today,
Yeah.
right? Well, unless you're here for true crime and you got pulled into my music, then I'm sorry. I guess. All right, we can go ahead and pause. So I really hate that I missed the opportunity to see him
Yeah.
because of COVID.
Yeah.
I was like ready to buy tickets and then it's like shows are canceled.
It was a bummer.
No, it's a big bummer. That being said, we are now to my top 40. And I'm going to go ahead and give us a little break because I got to pee again. I got to
Okay.
take a little pee break. So, bye.
Bye.
We're back again.
Howdy.
Sorry for all the breaks. It's just been, it's a late night is my excuse. So back onto top 40. Pick an artist that you think should be in my top 40 most listened for 2021.
I had an out there guess, but I'm going to go safe. Nothing Nowhere.
Indeed. Nothing Nowhere is in there. Oh, I think, hold on, that's the wrong album cover. He might not be.
Should I go with my out there guess?
Maybe, hold on, let me look. Yeah, no, that was not who I thought it was from that album cover. Yeah, no, he's not.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, actually. Sorry.
Oh, well, now my out there guess is probably going to be even wronger.
Yeah.
McCafferty.
Nope. Not
Alright.
in 2021.
Yeah, I figured as much.
And then
but
we canceled that boy, remember?
I know.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a third guess?
Yeah.
I was going to say, otherwise I'm going to give you one of three. So. If you don't...
Gucci High Waters.
Yeah, that's my 40th.
Oh, cool.
And there's one song. And it's High School by Gucci High Waters.
Dang, that's a good song.
Wait for the dog to stop drinking and we'll listen to it.
Sounds good.
He kills me.
He's a thirsty boy.
Okay. Dog's done drinking. And we have High School by Gucci High Waters. So I think this song is actually in my top 40 because it was released in 2021.
That makes sense.
So it is goated, though. It is a really, really
It's
good
so
song.
good.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, and go. School. I'm pretty sure he's from the UK.
I think so.
I'm like 99% sure. He's on tour in Europe right now.
He is from Limerick, Ireland.
Oh, sweet. We could go see him in Cologne, Germany on the 27th of November.
Boy, that would be fun.
All right, we can go ahead and pause before it jumps into the next song, I guess. So we're going to go top 50. Oh, I hope you pick the one I want you to. You're not going to guess the one that I want you to. I'm sure. I don't even think you know the band's name. Just so we're clear, 99% of this stuff is like emo bedroom rap stuff.
Yeah.
Because 2021 was my big era of driving all the time. So I didn't get to choose what I listened to. Not that I wouldn't choose this stuff, but I had a playlist made, and so I listened to the playlist a lot. And I mean, you were with me when we were driving.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was before we got big on listening to podcasts. So, like huge, I should say huge. We listen to a lot of podcasts. It's just not all the time.
Dang it.
Nope.
I can't think of anything besides Lil Dusty G.
Lil Dusty G is on there a lot.
I figured as much.
So you have One of a Kind.
Mm-hmm.
Dead End. Squash. Uppers and Cheap Love.
Oh, that's a good one.
And Insects.
Insects, please.
That's my number 3 song.
It's such a good song.
All right. So Lil Dusty G is a GOAT. Now I'm going to go ahead and preface this with saying I know the allegations of him stealing lyrics. We've talked about it before. I know. He makes his own music now as far as I know. And that's why this boy is sitting on a million. He broke a million, dog.
He broke a million?
He broke a million.
Good for him.
Not in, it was 2020 or 2019 that I found him. I remember.
Yeah.
It had to have been 2020.
Yeah, it was 2020.
40,000 monthly listeners, this guy.
Crazy.
Dude's got a mad come up. He's a good musician.
Mm-hmm.
We're listening to Insects by Lil Dusty G in its completion starting now. All right, we can go ahead and pause. Goated.
So good.
Most of his music is amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
There's I don't think he has a song that I won't listen to.
Yeah,
I got one of his shirts.
it's a cool shirt.
It's a goated ass shirt. If anybody knows Lil Dusty G, you know. Nobody does, of course. So I'm not going to tell you what shirt I bought because there was probably only like 10 people that bought it, and you'll know who I am. That being said, so this was the top 100. That's just the top 50. Now, before we discourage you, I'm just going to show you the last song of my top 100. And we're going to listen to it. I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to read you the top 10 from then forwards. So, actually, I'm just going to read you every 10.
Cool.
Okay? So we have Low by Lund being number 10. 20, Fuck Love by Lund. 30, I've Been Outside, 93 Feet of Smoke. 40, High School, Gucci High Waters. You listened to it already if you're here. 50, Hunker Down by Corbin.
Oh, I forgot about Corbin.
Listen to Corbin,
is
dude.
so good.
Yeah, I was hoping you would say something by Corbin. The other artist I hope you would mention is Deep October.
Oh, yeah.
God
you're
in the
right.
Room.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I feel God in the room when I fuck you.
Dang it.
It's a good ass song. Listen to it. God in the Room by Deep October. If you want to break into them, all of their music's good. All right. So 50 was Hunker Down by Corbin. 60, Am I Unemotional by Bryce Bishop.
Yep. Bryce Bishop is
70.
good.
Also, we have Dance Gavin Dance with Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most at 62. Love singing that song. But 70, Fight Fair, 93 Feet of Smoke. 80, Condemned, Zach Bryan. I'm surprised Zach Bryan's so low.
Yeah, me too.
But it's because of my flippin' work type.
Yeah.
90, Barely Alive by Jack Kays.
It's a good one.
Jack Kays of Cincinnati fame. And TikTok fame, mostly. But should I read the last 5 and then play?
Yeah, why not?
So it's going to be 96? 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
6. All right, so 6 forwards. 96, Heading South by my boy, Zach Bryan. 97, Closer by Diveliner.
Huh.
98, Jameson by Fishnark and Coldheart.
Good one.
99, Hell is Empty by Victims.
Nice.
And 100, which we are going to listen to, Don't Give Up on Me, Zach Bryan. I'm going to have to edit out the whole song because I'm going to sing it.
That's okay.
Sheesh.
Such a good song.
Oh no, I stopped the wrong thing. I stopped the Audacity recording. No, it's fine. You put your other headphones. Oh, you need those.
Yeah.
We're not going to listen to them though.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, put your other headphones on. EP6P. Gotta save the old Audacity recording that I messed up. I got 10 seconds on that recording. This one up here, this good old OBS recording ain't gonna mess up on us. Alright, we got the Audacity here to save our butts. You want to pull it up on Dick Sword?
Yeah, might as well.
Or do you, yeah? Just to view it?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do full screen. I'm gonna pull my Spotify up on the other screen. That's what I'll do. Alright, so your top?
Yeah, so I have not looked at my top from 2021 because, as you can see by the ad down here, I no longer have premium, and on my phone it doesn't show.
I'm just gonna blur the whole screen.
My top songs.
Of course, is Meth Head.
The first song.
Meth Head Freestyle.
Meth Head
Lil
Freestyle
Darky.
by
You got
Lil
that?
Darky.
Have you heard his new song?
No.
He sings in it.
Oh.
It's not his normal style. We gotta listen to it.
Yeah.
Not on the pod.
Listen to it later.
Not on the pod. It's good. Don't. I'm gonna write it down. I swear, the way that I write this shit down, it looks like it could be a logo.
Mm-hmm. My second most listened to song of 2021 is Drug Dealer Friend by Emir.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I fucking love Emir. People in the metal scene hate on Emir for no reason.
That was me.
You were one of them,
I will
exactly.
admit. It's because everyone else was like, oh, Emir sucks. And I was like, okay, why bother listening?
Drug Dealer Friend. I want to watch you suck her dick. That's not what it says.
Nope.
I want to watch her suck your dick.
I want to watch you suck his dick.
It's hers.
And my third reining in is Pig's Ear by Emir.
Yep.
I don't listen to a lot of music.
I think it's got inhales and pig squeal, doesn't it?
I believe
or pig's
so.
ear, not pig squeal. That's a pig squeal. Sorry.
My number 4 is
Lil Darky. Oh no,
I think I'm tired.
Oh, I showed you that song
by
though.
Vincent Augustus. Correct.
And then Die Very Rough by Mario Judah. You know what? I'm glad it's not me because that's embarrassing.
Hey, let's see if my 6 redeems me. Yes, Bite Down by Gideon.
What's your number 100?
My number 100 is Death Race by Teeth.
I don't even know it.
Pretty good. Oh, look at 98
Kimmel!
is Kimmel.
Kimmel, dudes! If y'all haven't listened to Kimmel, we probably shouldn't tell you to listen to Kimmel because he's Russian. All right. So I guess we're jumping into Oklahoma arrests.
I'm going to do a cursory scroll down to see how many counties we have.
A few.
A few.
I don't think it'll be too bad.
Cool.
Scroll back down.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to let the disclaimer play now. All of these arrests are public information. The people depicted in these records are real people that may be at the lowest point in their lives. This content is being created for entertainment purposes only. Absolutely no ill will is wished to anyone following this message. People with addiction problems are some of the most harmed people in the American judicial system. Addiction is not a joke, regardless of the lighthearted content we are attempting to create. And now that you've listened to the disclaimer, we're going to show you the top 4 arrests from Oklahoma. If you don't know how this podcast works, we talk about an arrest from a state. Any state, doesn't matter. It could be from a country, but probably from a state. We pick a state we haven't shown the recent arrests from. We look at the top 4. We judge these people. Yes, we know that is potentially a bad thing to do, but there's content behind it, and I think obviously you know that because you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the thing I was looking for.
Oh, sorry.
I was hoping you'd give me some filler words.
Well, we'll do our best to describe them for audio listeners.
And then for you audio listeners, if you don't like our descriptions, come through on the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or email. Don't come to the email asking us for, YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. Hopefully those things are active. If they're not, one of us is slacking. If it's Instagram that's slacking, that's Haley.
It's me.
If it's TikTok that's slacking, that's me, Cannon. And if it's YouTube that's slacking, that's me, Cannon, because I can't get her to do anything.
I don't have a TikTok.
Huh? I said YouTube.
I know, but you also mentioned TikTok.
But I said YouTube. Why are you blaming TikTok if I said YouTube?
You just said I was slacking.
About
Which I
YouTube.
am.
You don't do anything with our YouTube.
Fair enough.
So, these arrests are from Oklahoma, and we're starting with Daniel Ibuedo? Ibuedo?
Ibuado?
Sure. He looks like an NFL player.
He does, but he also looks like an actor. And I cannot remember the actor's name for the life of me.
Maybe his name is Daniel Ibuedo.
Could be.
I'm going to start. So it's you, me, you, me, you.
Yeah.
So I'll do the POC, you do the crackers.
Yep.
Am I allowed to say that? Is that okay? I guess we'll find out.
I think so.
I think so. I wouldn't be offended at being called a cracker.
No.
Cracker? I don't care. I don't care what you call me. As long as it's canon, what people call me, whatever, there's probably like a smaller version of a canon people are going to start using. It's going to be funny. So, Daniel, looks like he was arrested for criminal evasion of a police vehicle. So, reckless driving.
Yeah.
Plus more.
Evading, yeah.
Yeah.
And the age?
I'm going to go 34.
That's a really good guess. I'm going to go 32. And...
See, I have something to say.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me your crime.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say, I have something to say before, so I had a little bit more time to think. But, DUI is such a cop-out.
He doesn't look like a DUI
He
type of guy to me.
doesn't, but he looks like he was arrested in some sort of vehicle umbrella.
3 of these fucks were at least arrested in the same place.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the backgrounds look the same.
I'm gonna go with out for warrant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is he could potentially be younger, as young as 27.
That's true.
But I'm going to go 34. I'm going to go with my 34 and my fleeing.
21.
Oh my goodness. Assault and disturbing the police. The peace.
Assault and battery on police officer.
That's why I misread that. As I was reading both things at once. Cool. At least I'm not that stupid. Scroll back down. Been arrested twice.
First arrest from
DUI injury. Speeding.
Yep.
All right. And expired tag.
tags.
So we're right there, though. We both had kind of the right idea.
Yeah. And second arrest for disorderly conduct.
You said he was how old?
32.
So you got the age.
I don't want to count that as a win. He's 21.
He just got a thick face.
He does.
That was what made me think he was older, was his thick ass face. I mean, you still won it, though, so.
I shall graciously take the point.
Mary?
Mary Minnick.
They have the same views.
They do indeed. It's the same, 274 people being like,
yeah, they're friends. They're best friends, actually.
Yeah. I'm going to go with she is 31.
Okay.
Possession of a controlled substance.
34 and I want to be specific. I'm going to say heroin charges. 36 heroin charges. 30. Can I say 34 twice in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah, 34. Since they're the same views, too. Yeah, we'll go with that. 34 and heroin charges.
Okay, if I'm going to be specific, if it don't say...
No. Fuck you.
Possession of a controlled substance, pills.
Then it's not pills. It's
They
not going to say...
sometimes say...
It's not going to say pills.
52.
Damn, and liquor. She's 52?
She looks great for 52.
I just assumed drug addict face.
I did too.
Wow.
Wow.
That's got to be wrong. It's got to be flipped. She's 25. She looks older on the first arrest.
I know. All right, so first arrest at age 25. DUI
Current age
misdemeanor.
35. She's
Okay,
36.
hang on.
She's 36. If she was arrested in 2011 at 25,
Yeah.
she's 36. The age is wrong.
It looks like Potawatomi County got her ages wrong.
Potawatomi?
Potawatomi?
I don't know.
Because it jumps from her being
34
35
to 50
34
in a year.
in 2019.
2 months.
Yeah, to being
2 months
50.
and a day.
Okay, yeah. She looks
So I said she was how old? 36? 34.
34, yeah.
And she's 36.
Yeah,
And you said she was what?
31.
So I won.
Yeah.
2 years versus 3, right?
Yeah.
No. 2 years versus 5.
Well, there we go.
Cool. I won one. Woo!
Nice.
Also, did not expect DUI for some reason.
Me neither.
I think it was the face tats that threw me off
Yeah.
for the DUI because most people with face tats aren't alcoholics.
That is very true.
They're most likely drug addicts. And I know I'm being like... the whole point of this part is to be like type-facing people, basically.
Yeah.
Type-casing? Facing? What's the word? I don't know.
Stereotyping?
Well, it's part of it, but
Yeah.
I wanted to word it different than just saying stereotype.
Fair enough.
So now we have Raina Sievert.
Sievert?
With 110 views. I'm going to say that Raina is 25 years old. My brain wanted to say 26.
Okay.
I'm going to drop that a little bit and say 25. And I think she was arrested for child abuse.
Okay. I'm going to go with 22.
Okay.
And on the absolute flip end, elderly abuse.
Oh, abuse of an elder. Okay. 24. What did you say?
22.
I win.
And
No, did I say 25 or 26? I said 25.
I don't know.
Manslaughter? Oh my god. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. I didn't read that part. Wait. Whoa. Who won age?
I don't know. I was more caught up with the first degree manslaughter.
Either we were tied or I won by a year.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. Okay. What were her other arrests?
First one at age 19.
DUI and then manslaughter?
DUI drugs.
Oh, okay. Makes more sense. Brother.
Goodness gracious.
We gotta Google her when we're done and see if there's any information about that. Wow.
Yep. That was a doozy.
Yeah, that's a doozy for sure. May Chambers with the most views so far.
Yeah. I'm so bad at guessing people's ages. I'm gonna go 54.
58. Come on.
She looks like she poisoned her husband.
She looks also like she has fucking tattooed lips. I don't know why I always feel like when they get arrested, they just like wipe off the makeup and hers are bright fucking pink.
Yeah.
What's her crime?
Assault.
Assault?
Mm-hmm.
I think she committed a DWI, so like a DUI with it being drugs.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right in this state, but... Oh! Another manslaughter! Are you kidding me?
Hey, at least I was kind of close. Looks like she poisoned her husband.
$50,000 bond. We've got two to look up. Wow, she was arrested a long time ago. Oh, look at the bruises. Maybe she murdered him because he was fucking beating her.
All right, first arrest in 2006. Was
manslaughter.
Manslaughter 1.
Oh,
manslaughter
DUI manslaughter. Oh, no. Please don't tell me she's a serial drunk driver.
I feel like they would put that in this as well.
Probably not.
Second off, manslaughter 1.
DUI.
2 years later.
Got to be the same chart. DUI. Wow. How old is she? 60. I think I won the age.
What'd you say?
56, I think.
Yeah, I said 54.
I said 56 or 58. I don't remember, but wow, that sucks. I don't want to be the winner there.
No.
If we're being honest.
No one's a winner here.
No one's a winner here, yeah.
That's sad.
DUI manslaughter. Do you think that's the other manslaughter charge too?
It could be.
I hope not.
I hope not as well.
Okay, well, this has been the audio portion for Goojpod. I'm sorry the arrest section is so...
sad.
Glum.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It really does.
It's why I don't know. It's part of it.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I know we mock all these people with these DUIs, but like, it's easy not to just drink and drive.
Especially in 2022, just call an Uber.
Or just fall asleep where you're at and get arrested for it.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just call an Uber.
Toss your keys.
I don't know. I guess if you don't have... No, that doesn't work a lot of the times, too.
I mean, you can...
If you have access to the vehicle, no.
Yeah.
They're still just going to give you a DUI. It's fucked. The world's fucked.
And you can't sleep in any parking lots because they'll arrest you for that, too.
I mean, you could sleep outside of the vehicle and freeze to death. Sounds good, right?
Super shitty.
Yeah, it all sucks. I guess we're going to look these two up and then jump into our Oklahoma stuff. So if you've been listening, jump over to YouTube and you can continue at least listening and maybe watching and see who we're talking about. Yeah. And we'll be back in a minute. I've been Cannon for this episode.
I have been Haley.
For this episode.
Yep.
And maybe next time we'll be replaced by clones.
Or robots.
Robots?
Yeah, you never know.
I've been a robot the whole time.
Oh, no.
Of course you know. Women love robots. Bye.
Bye.